Welcome back, troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have to take a trip to Japan because they always get all the cool and slightly strange prototype guitars. And this one is a real doozy with a little bit of a history behind it. So here is this. It's kind of a monstrosity, but at the same time really cool, because it's a blending of many different flagship models and not necessarily all from Gibson's company. So at first glance here, we have a two-piece, ridiculously flamed maple top. This is the type of flame type that I absolutely adore, when it's a little bit stripey. It's not complete pinstripes, you got some waviness, not quite a quilt top yet. This is what I consider the quintessential flame top. Not quite a perfect book match, but that's pretty good for Gibson standards. And while it is a really nice top, not quite a monster top. But what we've got going on here is the top half of an Explorer, because you can see the point right here. You would normally have a pickguard in this area, but your toggle switch is in the same location. But the bottom half of the guitar kind of gets chopped off right here, and this most closely resembles to me a reverse Firebird, and then it's completely bound. But it's not bound in the traditional way, so instead of just complete multiply binding, which this does have a white, black, and it appears another white layer, but you also have the fancy abalone binding on this thing. Now you find that a lot on Asian import guitars. It's just kind of a fancy thing. The one that I had that had something similar to that was the Mineric Inferno guitar. That was definitely a crazy thing, and even though that's designed to look fancy, it just kind of looks cheap in my opinion. It's a little bit too gaudy for my tastes. But that's simply because I don't see it too often in the Gibson or Fender world. But besides that, it appears we have 3 control knobs, likely volume, master, tone. Or I guess it could be master, volume, and 2 independent tone controls, but we have 2 humbucker pickups here, a regular Nashville-style bridge and tailpiece, all with potentially gold hardware. I guess it could be reflecting something else though. Judging by the tuners, it looks like those are chrome, so that might just be nickel reflecting off some of the yellow of this. Here we go, here's a nice photo that shows it's not gold. But what's the back of this thing look like? Interesting. So it's got a comfort carve right here, kind of like a Stratocaster would in that area. And then as some of the Explorers that don't have pickguards, they have a long one right here. And then this is kind of like SG-like in shape. That's interesting. And you've got your output jack on the side of the guitar. That's nice. With your strap buttons in the usual locations. And speaking of all the Asian import guitars, you've got the cap right here off the back of the heel. That's something else you see all the time. I believe some of the high-end fancy arch tops used to use something like that once upon a time as well. I'm not a huge fan of that feature though. Similar reasons as the abalone on the top. But this appears to be mahogany. That might be a seam line, so it could be multiple pieces. Like that looks different, so it might be 3 pieces. I guess it could potentially even be 1 piece. There's just not enough photos of this thing, but this neck, oh my goodness. It's not every day you see Gibson use a 2-piece flamed maple neck. Usually it's either 1 piece, 3 pieces, or 5 pieces. So one of them just straight up the middle there, that is something I don't think I've seen before. And the only other time that I did see it, I think it had a walnut skunk stripe going up and down the entire thing. But this one, once again, has quite a bit of flamage going on. And on top of that beautiful neck, it appears we have an ebony fretboard with the block custom inlays. So similar to a Les Paul Custom. And you've got the binding up and down that as well with the fret nibs. And if this is Explorer and this is like RD Firebird type territory, what is going on for up here? I mean, I guess you could kind of say it's kind of Firebird-esque, but this is the part of the story where I tell you that this was not meant to be an original Gibson creation. Gibson was being very authentic. So you can check this thing out on Digimart, but it's labeled as one of a kind super rare. And the description reads, it seems the official endorsement was not finished, but this is a phantom-made Gibson custom shop creation. Essentially meaning it was kind of a prototype, but it's not labeled as a prototype. And they sneakily say, if you're a Kiss fan, please check it out. So this is one of those listings where they're trying to not infringe on anybody's copyrights, but still kind of trying to show you what it is. Yeah, we're talking about Kiss. Paul Stanley, he's known for using an Ibanez Iceman. Which, if you look at it, you know, it's got that Explorer shape right here. It's kind of got a little bit of a whoopity-woo right here, but still has the same vibe going on. And that headstock. Huh. Yep, I think they were going for the Ibanez styled headstock here. I'm honestly really surprised they did these tuners on it. They at least should have had the mother of pearl tips. I think this body shape is pretty cool. I know Paul Gilbert uses the opposite, called the Fireman. Hopefully one day I can review one of these, but they also have this like glass shattered top. Somebody was thinking about getting one of these through my new Guitar Day program, so who knows, maybe we will see one of these sooner than later. But yeah, this was Gibson's attempt to apparently steal away Paul Stanley from Ibanez. They made him this thing, and I've got to say, while it has all this beautiful figuring within it, I just don't think it works. It's a little bit too rounded. It really is this rounded edge that makes it not work. They should have tried to do like an inverse design. So instead of it popping out, they could have tried to like pop it in somehow just to give it a little bit more edge. That's about the only thing that doesn't quite work in my opinion. It's also kind of interesting how that two-piece neck is also visible from the front. They didn't put any type of veneer on here, and look at how sharp that truss rod cover is. You don't normally see that. But if we really zoom in here, it appears it might actually have black binding along the edges. Interesting. So while none of this is 100% official, that's kind of what the listing is telling us, and I can't zoom in enough and have enough definition to see if that's actually Paul Stanley holding this guitar or what that is. I think we'll just have to leave it at that. This is just kind of an interesting prototype design, and you're probably wondering, how can you add this thing to your collection? It appears to be located in a shop in Japan called Guitar Licks. But you can search it on digimart.net. Just search for Gibson Custom Shop Explorer PS Proto. PS likely standing for Paul Stanley. Once again, being sneaky, but they're not even telling you how much it is. So that likely means it's really, 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 really expensive. Or who knows, maybe it's not that bad. But it says it's in good condition and 1990s sunburst system. Not quite sure what that means. But looking at this, was this really made in the 90s? Because it has that characteristically 90s case, you can tell by the handle. They still use this brown case interior sometimes on the new cases, but they don't do quite the same inside material, and they don't do the same handle design. Nor do they do the combo lock anymore, because it just kept innocent people innocent. Wow, that makes me want this even more now that I know it's not something that they've just been doing recently. Now taking a closer look at that Gibson Custom Shop emblem on the backside of the headstock, that also tells you this is early Custom Shop days. It looks like the serial number says 89007 potentially? So it might be a 1998 maybe? That seems to line up with like the very early certificate of authenticities that not everything has. Still can't quite make out who's holding it in that photo. But man, isn't that an interesting guitar? And what makes this whole situation kind of comical is Ibanez as a company actually ripped off a bunch of Gibson's designs in like the late 60s, early 70s, before they eventually started toying with original design. And I guess you could technically say the Iceman wasn't 100% original on their own part. So this is Gibson firing back, trying to steal their guy. But is it really Gibson's fault? Sometimes an artist just likes a particular body style, so in order for companies to win them over, they have to do things that they wouldn't necessarily want to do. Looking at you, PRS Silver Sky. One of these days I gotta try one of those things. So for our playing demo today, let's go ahead and check out an Ibanez Iceman, because I don't think I could find a demo of this guitar. The only question left, would you rock the Gibson Iceman or not? Leave your answer down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.